Britain could survive well outside the EU. I don't think it would all be doom. I think there's an awful lot of scaremongering. For me, it will be largely about politics, about whether we could have more control through Parliament of the EU, about whether we could have some powers repatriated. It's not primarily about economics. What I hope we will be able to have is a constructive debate, not one that relies on scare tactics, telling us all the time that air travel will be more difficult, or you can't own a house abroad, or that mobile telephone charges are going up. I believe we need to have a rational, sensible and balanced debate. I think there will be a degree of uncertainty were we to leave, but I think that would probably be temporary. I do believe that a free trade agreement would be negotiable. People keep saying, what is your alternative? The alternative to the EU is a free trade agreement. I don't see why it shouldn't be negotiable. It is in the EU's interest. People say we've only 2 years to negotiate an agreement. Well, firstly, that's not entirely true, but even if there were a time limit, the EU needs to have an agreement just as much as we do. They need to get rid of the uncertainty. They need to know that they can sell German cars, German manufacturers in this country. The key things that people should look at are not the scares. They should look at the rational arguments for and against, and they shouldn't look at just the economics. They should also look at what is Europe likely to be in 40 years' time. We haven't had a referendum for 40 years. There is no status quo. Europe is changing all the time, and they have to ask themselves, are we prepared to live with a Europe that is integrating more and more? Or is that something that we reject? Well, I think there are a huge amount of uncertainties in the world at the moment. That's true. I think Britain leaving the EU would be an addition to uncertainty, but I think it would be temporary. Under Article 50, you have 2 years to negotiate, minimum 2 years. It can be extended. But what people often forget is that under Article 50, during the period of negotiation, everything remains exactly as it is now. Britain remains a full member of the EU, participates in all decisions other than the decisions relating to Britain withdrawing. So there would be 2 years in which people could see things in their proper perspective. Any panic, I think, would tend to dissipate during the 2 years of things remaining largely as they are.